How's it going, everyone? Hope you're having a great day, and welcome back to another video of Battlefield 1 pros and cons. For this episode, I will be going over the Lebel Model 1886, which is the They Shall Not Pass DLC rifle for the Scout class. The Lebel 1886 was a mainstay for the French military up until World War II. It features an 8-round capacity, 56 rounds per minute, 720 meter per second round velocity, and a sweet spot range of 50 to 87 meters. Before I get into the pros and cons of this rifle, I just want to point out that there is one minor issue with it as of right now. The reload animation will load an extra round that the gun is actually capable of holding. However, the game is not registering that round, so it's limiting you to 8 rounds instead of 9. By using the reload cancel, you can avoid this unnecessary animation and shave off a few seconds for the reload. I did a video of this, so if you'd like to see it in more detail, be sure to check that out. I would also like to point out that I am excluding the M1903 Experimental and the Russian 1895 Trench for these comparisons. When it comes to the cons of this weapon, there aren't too many downsides. You could see that there not being a marksman variant as a con. I don't, but it's more of a matter of preference. For me, there are two downsides to this weapon. The major one being the reload, and the minor one being the weapon multipliers. This weapon doesn't benefit from the same multipliers that the Martini Henry and the Gewehr M95 do. This means that if you hit a person in the legs or forearms, then you will be doing 75% of the possible damage. This is easily overcome by aiming for the lower body, upper arms, upper body, and the head, where you'll do at least 90% of the possible damage. As for the reload, this weapon requires single bullet reloads, so it can be tedious. There are several reload times that are listed. This is pre-reload delay, post-reload delay, single bullet and strip reload, and then bridge delay. The bridge delay is a delay added to the first single bullet being reloaded, and when it comes to the Lebel 1886, it has the most out of any other rifle. It slightly overcomes this by having a faster single bullet reload and pre-reload delay. However, this weapon has the longest post-reload delay out of any of the other weapons for the Scout class as well. To put this into perspective, the Lebel will take you around 4.8 seconds to reload a single round, where the other rifles will take you anywhere from 2.6 to 3 seconds. The Martini Henry, of course, is the fastest out of all of these with 2.3 seconds. Now, granted, this is merely looking at single bullet reload and not considering the strip reload, which can reload some rounds quite a bit faster than this weapon overall. This long reload time is really pronounced when using the K bullets, so when using this rifle, I recommend to use a different gadget. Even though the reload can take a while, I think the pros of this weapon do a good job at offsetting it, especially once the issue of not receiving the 9th bullet is fixed, because this weapon's primary pros are its rate of fire and its round capacity. It has a rate of fire of 56 rounds per minute, which ties it for second with the Russian 1895 and puts it only behind the Gewehr M95, which has 66 rounds per minute. Its round capacity, as of now, is 8, which puts it only second to the SMLE, which has 10. This also means that it has 3 more rounds than the other primary rifles, and 4 more rounds once the primary issue is fixed with this weapon. This weapon is similar to the SMLE and the Russian 1895 in a few ways, but which one should you use? Well, compared to the SMLE, it has 2 less rounds, a slower reload, and a better rate of fire. The round velocity is similar enough to not make much of a difference, but it does favor the SMLE slightly. The Lebel also has a little bit larger and further sweet spot range, which is 50 to 87, while the SMLE has 40 to 75. So if you aren't going to play as aggressively as you would with the SMLE, and you want to get off a few rounds more per minute, then the Lebel is the way to go. The Lebel may also be a little bit better of a choice in terms of long-range sniping, as it does have a sniper variant, while the SMLE doesn't. When compared to the Russian 1895, the Lebel has the same rate of fire, 3 more rounds, and a much slower round velocity. They both have a similar size sweet spot, however the Russian 1895 sweet spot range is from 60 to 98. When it comes to long-range sniping, the Russian 1895 is probably a better choice, as even though it has 3 fewer rounds, its round velocity is 100 meters a second faster. This means that the bullet will take less travel time to get to its target, and it also means that you won't have to lead your targets near as much when using the Russian 1895. Ultimately, the weapon choice is going to come down to personal preference and situational context, as the weapons have a fair amount of overlap between them. Anyway, that's what I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on the Lebel and how it compares to the other rifles in the game in the comments down below. With that being said, I'll catch you on the next one. RavenProDesign out.